Like many days in the last 2 years, what happens today will be very crucial for the future of America and its people. Yet the vast majority of citizens are woefully or willfully unaware of what is even going on. There's a really competitive race for governor in Virginia, which will ultimately determine what the future of Virginia's children, will learn in school. You have one candidate that said the quiet part out loud and quite literally said that parents should have no say in what their children their children learn in schools. So you have one guy that wants the children to be in control of the state, wards of the state, the experts are in charge, and then you have another candidate that wants the parents to be involved, that wants to take out things like CRT and a variety of other things. In Minneapolis, you have a vote to determine whether or not they will defund the blue, whether or not they will start putting public safety officers or whatever else, a plan that they haven't even hashed out the details of yet they're taking a vote for it in Minneapolis. That seems fine. Meanwhile, all of the numbers that, of course, you can't say anything because words are garbage and illegal, whatever. But yeah, the numbers are way up, but they're going to still make this vote for something that they haven't even planned out. Typical, seems about normal, that seems fine. In states like New Jersey, which were some of the hardest hit and also experienced some of the most egregious and overbearing lockup rules and restrictions, you have another vote for the governor of that state. And then you have people like Project V exposing them and shooting video inside their organization saying as soon as this guy wins, they're going to put more forced decisions on the people after the race. Just literally basically admitting that they are lying and not telling the truth about what their intentions are to the people that are supposed to vote for them. In the race in Virginia, you had a staged scene where the Abraham Project, which has has been in the news before for covering up some of the misdeeds and outreach of their founder to particular ages of people. That seemed totally fine. Tried to pretend and stage a photo opportunity in front of one of the buses of the Republican opponent that made it look like he's a Supreme, that had them dressing up like they were Supremes, and one of the guys wasn't even white. That's the length that these people are going, but nobody cares. You have people like Ocasio and Cori Bush, who is just a peach, saying that anybody that disagrees with their policies pretty much is a real. And every single thing is always, they always pull that card, no matter what it is. If you disagree with them, that's what you are. And they're doing that about Joe Manchin. And it's just a perfect example of how obvious their playbook is, but most people don't care. They don't pay attention, or they're not even looking. And while all this happens, you have the Kyle R. trial going on in Kenosha. And this trial is yet another example of the public discourse being used to intimidate the jurors and people involved in this trial. You already have public figures coming out and saying that he's a Supreme, that he's a madman, that this guy went there with the intent to cause all this harm. Whereas if anybody took even the most basic amount of time to look into the real details of the case, all the video evidence, all of the footage, you would see that even though you may disagree as to why this person was there, that this person does not deserve to go to prison for life or be executed or whatever for what occurred there. It's not what it seems, yet all these public figures are already piling on him. And they're just creating and setting the stage for more division if it doesn't go their way. And if it does go their way, they're trying to get there through intimidation. Yet despite all this and despite all this evidence and what's going on in New York and what's going on in this trial and what's going on with the money in your pocket and all of the supply chain issues and all of the inflation, all of these other things and all of the fact that words can't be said and conversations can't be said, the vast majority of people, despite this, even though they're going to have juice for their kids coming probably as early as tomorrow, new billionaires being minted as a result of the juice, and every possible just blatant slap in the face imaginable from every public institution, every news organization, every supposed leader and political figure, every single thing simultaneously slapping everybody in the face. Yet still, they either won't pay attention, won't do anything, or really purely simply don't care because they think that they can't do anything about it. It's a foregone conclusion. And while all this stuff happens, you have people wearing diapers alone, outside, in the sun, or in their car by themselves. And the big, huge hazard of all of this is that if you can successfully fearmonger a person to doing that, doing something that makes no logical sense whatsoever, could you imagine what you could fearmonger them into doing in the future? That's what all of us are trying to highlight. Because let it be known, they are not going to stop. They're going to label anybody that disagrees with them supreme, or some type of unworthy of respect person. They're going to keep demonizing and gaslighting every person imaginable. They're going to use all of the mainstream media outlets to distribute as many lies and emotional manipulations as possible. They're going to set the rules and not follow them, bend them and break them in plain sight without anybody realizing. They're going to enrich all of their buddies while proclaiming that those are the exact same people that they're trying to fight against. They're going to continue to demonize all of us, pit us all against each other, ruin every single thing that brought this country together in the first place, eliminate words, eliminate actions, eliminate behaviors, eliminate history. They're going to keep going and bending and pushing and breaking and smashing everything in their path until people start to stand up to it. Many will stand up, many will be brave, many will speak out, many will sound the alarm. But if the vast majority of people don't understand what's going on, it all falls on deaf ears. It can't get more obvious than this. It's slapping everybody right in the face. The question is will you say something? Will you do something? Do you have the capacity to recognize an imminent threat? The aggressiveness and the speed in which they are smashing and grabbing is escalating at a rapid clip. All of these things have been easy to foresee for many, many months if you've been paying attention. Now we just have to convince all of those people that aren't paying attention, the ones that think that this is for their own good, because by the time they realize it, it will be too late.